Hello, Miss Shannon's class. Today we are going to read Our Tree Named Steve. If we look at this book, at the front cover, what do we think this book's going to be about? I see some kids, I see a dog, and I see a big tree. And the title of our book is Our Tree Named Steve. So I think this book is going to be about a tree named Steve. Let's see. Dear kids, a long time ago when you were little, Mom and I took you to where we wanted to build a house for us to live in. But in order to build there, men had to come and clear the land. I remember there was one tree, however, that the three of you couldn't stop staring at. Adam thought it was crying, Lindsay said it looked nervous, and Sari, who was only 2 at the time, couldn't pronounce the word tree, and she called it Steve. I love you, Steve, she kept saying, and then Adam and Lindsay started saying it too, and before long, Mom and I got the hint and asked the builder to leave Steve. So they're going to build their house around Steve. The day we moved in, Steve was there to greet us. He quickly worked his way into our lives as a swing holder, a target, a third base, a hiding place, and a jump rope holder. And when our dryer broke down, he held the underwear with pride. So whenever their dryer broke down, Steve was also the clothesline. They hung their clothes on it to dry. Yes, right there in the center of our yard, this weird-looking tree grew to become the center of our outdoor life, through all the barbecues, campouts, and dance parties. And when Adam and Lindsay started getting crushes on the Simon kids next door, Steve adjusted to our every need. So then more friends came. The neighbor's dog came. And they were all hanging out. And it wasn't always easy standing tall through snowstorms in the winter. Or when Uncle Chester napped in the hammock, couldn't possibly have been fun. Not to mention the time the sewer overflowed and Steve sucked up all the smelly water before it drowned Kirby. Kirby's their dog and he's hiding on top of their house. He's trying to stay dry. Then got so sick himself that the tree doctor had to come give Steve a haircut and made him look like a big thumb. So sometimes when trees get sick, people will call arborists to come look at the trees and see if they need to cut the tree down or trim some branches so it looked like he took some branches off that might have been dead or not healthy. Kind of like we get our haircuts and we get the dead hair trimmed so then our hair can be healthy again. Through the years, Mom and I have tried to show you, in a world filled with strangers, the peace that comes with having things you can count on and a safe place to return after a hard day or a long trip. Which brings me to the point of this letter. So this whole time, the dad has been writing a letter to his kids. And the letter says, last week, a storm hit our area. Ooh, what do you think that means? He's telling the kids a storm hit the area. And though we spared Steve's life a long time ago, this time we couldn't save him. What happened to Steve when the storm hit? He fell. Are we sad? Sure we are. But even in his final moments when he could have fallen on our house, Sorry Swings, Kirby's house, or Mom's garden, Steve performed his last trick and protected all of us to the very end. And friends like that are hard to find. So when Steve was falling over, he could have fell on the house, Kirby's house. He could have fallen on a lot of things, but he didn't. He fell in a way that didn't touch anything. So when you come home from Grandma's next week, Steve will not be able to greet you as he's done in the past, and I am sorry. But please know that Steve will always be with us in our hearts and in our thoughts. And in a different tree, in the other end of our yard, see you next week. Love, Dad. So there's Steve's and his old spot. And now they have moved everything, the tree house and the swing, to a new tree. So they have a new tree that they can call Steve or whatever they want. The end.